Hello everyone, I am Jason Matthew from WeCanEduTech, where we make learning to use educational technology simple. Thank you so much for being here. If you want to know how to share your desktop, PowerPoint presentation, video, your iPad, Google Drive, even a second camera on Zoom, then this video is for you. We have created other videos about Zoom, so be sure to check them out as well. Links in the video description below. In this video, we'll focus on the host sharing his screen, but participants can also share their screens. You, as the host, just have to allow it. And if you have Zoom 5.0 later, it is even easier to do so. So let's open our Zoom desktop client. And for this demo, we will join my Bio 101 meeting. So once you are in your Zoom meeting, you just need to click on the security icon on your control panel. So I'm just going to click on that. And then you see there's allow participants to. But right now there's no tick there. So that means that by default, my participants will not be able to share their screen. But if I click on share screen, then the participants will be able to share their screen. So if I click on the security icon, I now see that there's a tick next to share screen. And you could toggle back and forth with that so that you could allow participants to share or not share their screens throughout the meeting. So like for instance, if I didn't want any participants to share their screen now, I just have to click on share screen again. And now participants will not be able to share their screen. If I click on the security icon, you see there's no tick there. So that means that participants will not be able to share their screen. So now let's look at one of Zoom's most powerful features, and that is the share screen. And you can't miss it on your control panel. It's this big green button here. So you just click on it, and then you get a few options. So right now, you can see there are 3 tabs on the share screen window. There's the basic, advanced, and file. So right now we are in the basic screen sharing options here. In the basic sharing window, I can share my desktop, whiteboard, and I can share devices that are connected to my computer. So like in this example here, I have my iPhone and iPad attached to my computer, so I can share those devices. There are 2 ways in which you can share computer sound with your participants. The first is through your microphone. The sound from your computer is picked up by your microphone and sent to participants. The sound that participants will receive from this method will be muted, of course. The second way is to click on Share Computer Sound. This option will send the audio directly from your device to the participants, so the participant will receive the same quality audio as you. Zoom is a video conferencing software and not a streaming service. It is not built to stream videos, but Zoom has built a feature that can help you share videos better, and it is called Optimize Screen Share for Video Clip. This setting increases the frame rate of the screen share while playing the clip so that the playback appears smoother for participants. This feature is optional but recommended for sharing video in full screen. So if you're sharing video, you'll want to have those 2 features turned on. The best way to demonstrate how screen share works is to show what the participant is seeing alongside what we as the host are sharing. So in this example, we will have my screen, which is the host screen on the left, and the participant screen on the right. So I'm going to come off of this share screen window right now, and I'm going to ask Christy to join the meeting. Okay, so Christy has joined our meeting, and if we look in our participants panel, I can see that Christy is there. I'm going to close the participants panel. And what I'm going to do now is share my whiteboard. So I'm going to click on share screen, and then I'm going to choose the whiteboard, and I'm going to click on share. And as you can see, on Christie's side of things, the whiteboard is up. And I can do whatever I want on the whiteboard. I can scribble hello. I can use text and say, today we will be looking at, and be looking at, and then I could just type whatever I want. And you can use all the other stuff in this annotation toolbar. Now, I'm not going to go too much into the annotation toolbar. We actually have done a video just on the annotation toolbar. It's a pretty powerful, cool video. So please check that out. The link is in the video description below. So whatever I am doing on the whiteboard here, it's also coming up on my participant screen. Similarly, if my participant decided to do something on the whiteboard, so let's have Christy do something on the whiteboard. So as you can see, she's putting stars around hello. And that's coming up on my screen as well. So there's a lot of ways in which you can interact with your students using the whiteboard. And as I said, we did a whole video about this, so please check that out and you'll see exactly how this can be done. So this is one way in which you can share. You're sharing your whiteboard. So I'm going to click on the stop share button at the top here. So that's going to stop sharing my screen. And now I'm going to click share screen. And this time I'm going to share my, my device. So I'm going to click on this and then I'm going to click share. And now I'm sharing my phone. And let's just say, for instance, we were discussing the weather. I can just click on the weather app and the weather comes up. So it's going to be a little cloudy today. And it looks like it's going to be like that for Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. So we're going to have some rain coming, which we desperately need at this moment. So this is one of the things that I can do. So I can share my screen on my phone with the class if that's something that you need to do. Similarly, you can share your other devices. Like for instance, I can share my iPad or whatever device I have connected to the computer. So there's endless possibilities there. So again, once you want to stop sharing, you just go to the top, you look for the stop share button and you click on it. So once you can open it on your screen, you can share it. Whether it be your entire desktop, website, a Word document, spreadsheet, PDF, PowerPoint, once you can open it on your screen, you can share it. So I'm back on my Zoom meeting here, and I'm going to click on share screen. Now, as you can see, these are my options here at the moment. So I have my desktop, the whiteboard, and the devices that I can connect to the computer. So we've looked at that already. Now, remember what I just said. Once you can open it, you can share it on your screen. So let's look at how this same basic window will change when I open up some stuff on my screen. So I'm going to close this off and I'm going to open up a website, a PDF, and if you did my Zoom security video, you'll be familiar with this PDF here. Our WeCanEduTech Facebook page, so please follow us on Facebook. Our WeCanEduTech YouTube channel, please subscribe. Shameless plugins right now. This is just a generic spreadsheet, and we have a PowerPoint. So we have a few things on our desktop, and if we go, let's return to the meeting again. And now if I click on my shared screen, look at what's happening. All those things that I have open on my desktop are now available to share. So we have a lot of sharing options now, and that's simply because I open up these applications on my desktop and now I can share them. So that's very, very cool. So the first option is that I can share my desktop, and that's like the nuclear option. It means that I'll be sharing everything on my screen. So let's bring back Christine to the meeting. So my screen is going to be on the left-hand side. Christy's screen, the participant screen, is going to be on the right. And let's see how things work. So when I click share to share my desktop, look at what happens on the participant side of things. They can see everything that's on my desktop. And that is indicated by this green border that Zoom has put. So wherever I see this green border, I know within that green border is what is being shared with the participants. So I like to call this the nuclear option because you are sharing every single thing. So the participants are seeing everything that's on your desktop. And I want you to be mindful of that because, make sure that, whatever you have on your desktop, it's things that you want the participants to see. You don't want to have an exam sheet or something open and they're seeing that, right? So be careful of what you are sharing on your desktop. Make sure whatever you are seeing, they are seeing. Now, there are other sharing options that you have which will allow you more control. So let's look at those options. So I'm going to click on the top here, stop share once again. And let's go back to the sharing options that we have. Now remember, as I said, once you open it, you can share it. So we can share specific things that are open on our desktop. So for instance, if I wanted to share a PDF file. So let's say I want to share my Zoom security tips PDF file. I click on that and then I click share. Now look at what's happening here. You see the green border is now only around my Zoom security tips PDF. And if you look at the participant screen, that is all they are seeing. They are seeing just the PDF. While I have my whole entire desktop and I could have other things open, they can't see outside of this green border here. They could only see my PDF. So I'm just sharing my PDF with them. All right, I can go to stop share. And it's the same principle. I can share these individual applications. So if I want, I can share the WHO website only. And that's all the participants will be seeing. They're not going to be seeing the rest of my desktop. I can share an Excel sheet. So I can share that. Let me click on it. Once you click on it, you click share. And now, again, within the green border is all that the participant will be seeing. Now, you could share these kind of collaborative documents in different ways. Like I could just share a link to a Google Sheet or an Excel file to the participants, and then we could look within the document. But I like sharing from a share screen perspective these collaborative documents when I'm presenting because it allows everyone to just focus on exactly what I want to show them. So they are not looking at different parts of the spreadsheet. They are looking at one at the same screen, and they are being guided by what I want to show. And you can use the annotate function of Zoom. So you just click on annotate. You can use the tools from the annotation toolbar there to really make your presentation an interactive one. So like for instance, let's say I'm giving this presentation here and I'm like, wow, these monthly expenses, they are way too high. We need to find ways to decrease that. And you do things like that. And it adds a level of interactivity that you most likely wouldn't be able to get because now everybody's focused on that. And remember, I have a whole video about how to do annotations and stuff. So we're just getting a glimpse of it now, but please look at that video. Next, we can share the always popular PowerPoint. So you can share it this way where you're just looking at, they can see the slides on the side here, or you can go into full screen. So once you go into full screen on your end, then on the participants end, they're going to see the slides full screen as well. And then you can scroll through your PowerPoint and give your presentation. So that's the next thing you can do. So I think you get a hang of the different ways in which we can share things from your desktop. And as I said, always remember, once you can open it on your desktop, or your screen, I should say, you can share it. So I'm going to stop sharing now. And I'm going to go to share screen. And now we're going to go from basic to advanced. Let's see what we have in advanced. Now, one of the things that we can do is that we can share a portion of our screen. So before, what we were doing is that we were sharing entire applications. So we were sharing like entire websites, entire YouTube channels, entire PowerPoint presentations, and so on. But you also have the level of control where you can just share a portion of something and not the entire thing. And let me show you what I mean. So I'm going to say, choose portion of a screen, and I'm going to click share. And now you see this green border. And what that means is that whatever is inside of that green border is what the participants will see. So I can move this green border over to this WHO website. Now, before I was sharing the entire WHO website, but let's just say I wanted the participants to focus on the video that is on the WHO website. This is one way in which you could do it. Whatever is inside of this green border, the participants will see. All right. And what's cool about it is that you could change the size of this border by just clicking the corners and then just dragging to whatever size you like. So that's really cool. All right. And whatever is within that border is what the participant will see. And I can move this border around and stuff and show this exactly what I want the participants to see. So you have that level of granular control, which is very cool. All right, and again, you can always change the size of the border. And whatever you're sharing, you can annotate. So if I go to the top of my screen and I click annotate, I can then annotate whatever I want. All right. And these annotations are non-destructive, meaning that when you add these annotations, they're not interfering with the material in any way. You can erase them and so on. So let's stop sharing and now we'll go share screen. The other option is that you can share music or computer sound only. So let's say that you had a video or something, but the actual picture is not important. You just want to share the music or the sound only. Then you can click this option and share just that. Or if you have, let's say, a MP3 file, so you don't need for people to see your screen, they just need to hear the audio file. Then you could go this route where you just share your music or sound. And then this final feature where you can share content from second camera, I find that pretty interesting. It means that you could have two cameras connected to Zoom and where the second camera gives you a different angle. So think of any kind of situation that you might be in where you want to have two different camera angles, then this option is great for you. So like for instance, one thing that comes to my mind is that, let's say you're doing an experiment in a lab. You could have one camera facing the experiment and you could have one camera facing a whiteboard. So you're on the whiteboard, you're explaining certain things about the experiment, that camera is taking up that image, and then you could switch between the other camera where the experiment is going on. So you go there and you move and you manipulate whatever, variables there and stuff for the test tubes and all of that, and they can see that as well. So again, whatever situation you think where multiple angles, camera angles will help, then this is a great feature for you. So I'm just showing out one about the lab and stuff, but I am sure that you all have some really creative ideas how to use these features that I've shown you. So please feel free to any comment section in the YouTube video below to share your stories. Tell us how you are sharing your screen and how it is working for you. So then, we could probably learn from that and you apply that to our own teaching. So please share your stories. Let us learn from you guys. And then finally, you had basic, advanced, and then you have files. So you can connect your file sharing services directly to Zoom, and then you can just go straight into it rather than accessing it on the periphery. You can just go straight into Zoom. So you could connect right now your OneDrive, your Google Drive, or your Box accounts to Zoom and then share the files directly from there. I must admit, I don't really use this feature that much. I just simply go into my Google Drive and then just share the file from there. But this is a way that's going to save you at least 1 or 2 clicks, so you can share directly from Zoom. So that's something to think about. So now that you can share anything on your screen, the next step in upping your Zoom game is knowing how to annotate what you share. Please have a look at our video on Zoom annotation tools, and don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification icon so you don't miss a thing. Thank you for watching this video.